All right. Yes, we are here. This is amazing. Happy March, Women's Month. Third week of March. This is going to be amazing. Oh, man, I'm so excited about this. And you know what's beautiful is the B-roll, like the B-roll. Hey, guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, it is that time. Thank you for joining us at Medical Cannabis Marketplace. It is Perry Jones III, and let me tell you, oh, my gosh, Women's Month. I love it. I love women. But guess who we have with us tonight, guys? We have put a lineup for you guys that is absolutely amazing. And we're going to jump right into it because the ladies that we have on tonight, they're a powerful group. They are a powerful group. And so let's go right into it, guys. Listen, first off,
Middy's Medicinal.
Boom. Let's go. Let's just go because this is what's beautiful is this is live. And usually people get very nervous and they don't know how to take a live show. You just jumped right in there. Gama, let's see. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah. So I'm Tessie with Middy's Medicinals.
I'm Melinda with Middy's Medicinals.
And I'm Perry Jones III with Medical Cannabis Marketplace. And guys, we got Middy's Medicinal in the building. Ladies, thank you guys for, thank you, ladies, for joining us today. I am so happy to have you ladies on. We did some research, and let me tell you, in Central Oklahoma, there's a brand being talked about. And this brand has got some products that are quite amazing. And so we were very happy to have you ladies connect with us that we can get you guys on. And let's jump right into what you guys are known for. One of the craziest things on the market right now.
Our refreshers.
This refresher is absolutely amazing. I'm happy that it's here. I said we were going to start into it, and I'm getting a little too excited because people don't know about nano, and we're going to go a little bit into that here in just a moment. And then we're actually going to have a live demonstration on some of the things that you guys have. And so I'm super excited about that. But let's go to the very beginning. Let's go to who are you guys? Who is Middy's Medicinal? Can you tell the folks about how you guys started this and who you guys are as a brand?
So me and Melinda are family, and we came from the farmer's market. So Melinda had opened up Middy's Kitchen in 2011, 2012. And
2011.
Let me tell you, too. Her jam, there is no other jam. Her tabbouleh, so amazing products that we had in the farmer's market.
Oh, listen,
yeah.
I love jam.
I've been trying to talk her back into bringing that a little back out.
So you're saying there's some new products possibly out there.
Maybe we can get her back. We can get back some farmers market stuff one day.
Okay. So started in the farmers market, 2011. That speaks volumes. So you've already been mixing and cooking and combining ingredients for the good taste for people. Then we fast forward to 2018.
Yep.
7 years in the game. It goes, hey, it's legalized in Oklahoma. Let's start.
It's time.
It's time. It's time to really do this now, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
man.
Cannabis has always been a passion of ours.
Okay.
We've been around it forever. So, I mean, we were like, man, we can take our farmers market roots and take that to cannabis, providing high quality products in cannabis segment. So, I mean, and it was an easy way to enter, the barrier to entry was low.
Right.
And that was what we loved about the Oklahoma market. We're Okies anyways.
Love it.
So we're like, let's do this. We can put something different out there.
You definitely are Oklahomans when you say Okies. People always ask me, Perry, where are you from? I live in Oklahoma. I'm an Okie. And they're like, yeah, you're in Oklahoma. You're an Okie. And so that is beautiful. So how was you said the transition going from the farmer's market into the industry, the medical industry was pretty easy for you guys because you already had a clientele base kind of going in. What products did we start with, if you don't mind me asking, when we got into the cannabis industry?
So we actually started with an infused jam.
It
didn't go over super well just because
it was
such a new
about
market.
That, right?
But she makes this pineapple jalapeno jam infused. Yeah, it was amazing. And an apple butter. So we had some really great jams. Gummies was one of our, one of the big starts.
Okay.
Gummies, hard candy. So my mom, she works with us. My mom she had an old fashioned hard candy recipe that she made for us at Christmas. So we just were like, we got to have that.
Okay.
So we have that. And then really where the refresher started becoming born, coming from a long line of alcoholism. I wanted to develop a product that was in a beverage. I wanted a beverage. I wanted something portable, something that we could help people break free from alcoholism.
Right.
And so that's when we just started doing thousands of hours of research and started really investigating and like researching nano.
Okay.
So I started really looking into like botanicals and how you get botanical oils, so I started research, spent thousands of hours researching R&D, and we developed an in-house nano process. And it was before really anybody here in Oklahoma was doing nano.
Okay.
So we kind of developed a process and we started kind of dabbling in it.
Proprietary. That's what they like to
Yeah.
use, that word. It's one of my new favorite words. I like that. And you started dabbing with it, and then now you've dabbled. Because you dabbed, it's just the beginning.
Just the
Dabbled
beginning.
is in there now,
In
right?
it.
And so now with it, would you say, perfected that method
We did.
now?
Yes.
Okay, so it's now perfected, and now we're going into multiple flavors, correct?
Yeah, not only multiple flavors, but we've taken it to our gummies as well.
Okay.
So, so many people have that anticipation of when it's going to hit, which brings on a lot of anxiety. So I thought, how do we circumvent that anxiety and allow people to have that faster relief?
Oh, real
And so
quick.
we
That's a
moved
good
into
thing
that.
right there. Because you mentioned the onset effect, but let's go to the name. You used the short-term name of nano.
Yes.
For those that are watching, would you explain what nano is short for and what that means?
So nano is short for nanoemulsification. Nanoemulsification is a process of taking the oil and breaking it down into itty bitty little tiny pieces.
Particles, super
particles
small.
about the size of a red blood cell. And so you break it into little particles, which then allows it to be water compatible.
Okay.
It's never going to be water soluble, but it's water compatible. So you can pour this in, it'll mix right in there. The oil doesn't float on top or anything like that.
Okay.
But with nanoemulsion, it allows it to enter your bloodstream a lot faster. So it not only do you get a higher bioavailability, so you absorb more of it,
It's one of my favorite words. Love that word.
and then you absorb more of it, and it comes on a lot quicker. Now, it does leave your system a little faster than a traditional edible that's going through your digestive system. But so it's really great for people that need that onset, that quick onset,
Automatically.
that quick relief, things like that. And it's also really great for people that are coming over from alcoholism because it's a very similar kind of onset and feel.
What I really respect and admire about what you ladies have put together is the story that goes behind it. And we're not trying to change, more or less. I mean, we want to change the vice, right? But we can help by changing the ingredients in it, and that helps to decrease parts of it. And that the nanoemulsification is one of my favorite modalities and ways of actually taking medicine because, like you just mentioned, it's a faster onset. It's less of it. It's really more of a controlled for the medicine for those specific aches, and it's really good if you do it properly, right?
Yes.
And so I think that like having that in options, and then you said you also put it into your other products now,
yeah.
right? What are those other products that utilize that?
So our gummies.
Okay.
So our gummies is one of the big things that we've moved it into. We do like a 25 milligram gummy, and we do a microdosing. So we really do a lot of microdosing.
Okay.
A lot of people, we want to target those people that are coming over to cannabis, maybe from CBD or new users, to ease into it and not have that, take that really high dose and that bad experience.
Bad side effects.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah, so
understand that.
that's we don't really do a lot of really high dosing.
Okay.
We also make a powdered. Using some organic emulsifiers, a powdered cannabis, which we use in like our hot drink mixes, like hot chocolate, spice chai, mocha cappuccino. We infuse sugar without using alcohol, so our sugar is super clean, super good,
Really?
super tasty. So we have some really neat, which is a form of nano as well.
Okay, couple quick questions because I'm just super excited about these products. The first one is on the gummies, if you don't mind me asking, or is it fruit pectin or is it gelatin?
We do a gelatin base.
Okay, and then on the sugar, is it regular sugar or are we using like turbidino sugar
A pure
or
cane.
pure cane sugar? Okay, great. I like to actually mix my things, and so when you're doing teas or you're doing coffees or anything that would require or add the sugar or whatnot, I like to see what you can use with it, and
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome.
And
right
ours
there.
is great because the way that we make this, it emulsifies right in.
Okay.
So when you mix it in there, it's not going to settle on top or anything like that. We have a real proprietary method.
There it is.
There it is. To infuse them. So then
Okay.
it just mixes right in. Same with like our hot chocolates and our spice chai. They're delicious.
All right. So one of my favorite questions. I love this question. I'm just going to jump right into this one because it goes right into what you're talking about. When, Miss Melinda, when did the plant touch you? When did the cannabis plant, make its appearance on your life? When did you grace your appearance with it?
Oh, when I was about 13,
Okay.
many years ago in
Okay.
Southern California where I was raised. And I never was much of a drinker or cared much for any other drugs, but cannabis was just always something I gravitated to. And, many, many years later, I can proudly say I'm a licensed cannabis processor.
Let's go. Creating
me
products and
super happy.
medicine for so many different people.
Yeah.
What would you say is your favorite product that now you have a whole line of different things? And like you mentioned, you started at 13 and it was in flower form, I'm assuming,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, presuming I would go with that. Now that you've kind of jumped into all of these different ways of producing this medicine, what would you say are some of your favorite modalities and products?
My favorite product are our suckers. I love our suckers. They
Oh,
are
okay.
so good.
I didn't know you had
We
suckers.
have-
We do have suckers too.
Didn't know we had
I
suckers.
love
Got
our
hard candy,
suckers.
suckers.
They're
So,
20.
okay.
They're 20 milligrams. They're delicious. Tessie's mom, Callie, does a fantastic job on them.
Okay.
I like the sublingual absorption that the hard candy, the suckers give. It's kind of a little more gradual. I can
prolonged. I like
have a
that.
sucker, and if I start feeling a little high, I can put it down for a few minutes if I, want to, or depend on what I'm doing, and they're my favorite.
I didn't keep as much candy wrappers around until these suckers came, right?
Yeah.
And I recognized, because my grandmother's like, boy, what do you, just leave that there. And I'm like, now I know. I'm like, yeah, I don't need all of this sucker. I can put this down. And so that's really, really smart. And I like that thought process right there. Tell me yours. What was your, when did the plant touch you?
My whole life.
Your whole life. Okay.
No, so I've been around it. My dad, I had family members, it always was a part of our life. I didn't grow up as a traditional kid that understood the stigmas. There was
Right.
no stigma in my home.
Yeah.
Like it was natural in my home. I seen very, important people in my life that had successful lives that used cannabis. So, it never was something to me. I do remember some plants hanging in my house when I was younger.
That's what they were doing.
It was always a part of our lives. And for me, I was about 13 when I started smoking. So
Seems to be a magic number.
yeah. I do, we were young.
We were young.
Yeah,
We were
yeah.
young.
But we were always responsible,
Definitely.
responsible.
Definitely. I think
Yeah.
so. Then tell me, what's your favorite products, or what are the favorite modalities, and then your favorite products that you have?
So that's a hard one.
If you're biased, it's
a hard one for me. So
Okay.
I do like to smoke. So
Okay.
we make some infused blunts with rosin and keef. Those are like new for us, and I'm loving them.
Okay.
They're a little powerful for me. And then we also make cannagars.
Yeah.
And so the cannagars are like a super slow burn, don't make me cough. So those are some of my favorites.
Okay.
But if I'm socializing, it has to be a refresher. I don't drink anymore. Like I said, I come from a long line of alcoholism. My whole drive behind this was to combat alcoholism. It's been very successful. I would say my mom will be 3 years sober in May because of
Hey.
this. But
Congratulations.
probably the refreshers and microdosing gummies.
Microdosing gummies.
Yeah.
So I fly every so often, and whenever I fly, my choice of flying companion is a sucker. And so
mentioning that, I am now going to make my way. You guys are you're a processor, right? How many dispensaries would we say that we're in?
About
right now?
70.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. I'm excited because actually I get to have some of these guys, and it's going to be amazing. But we're going to bring them back on towards the end of the show, and we're going to actually do a demonstration of the refreshers, and we're going to do it with some product sampling that I'm super excited about. So we're going to be able to do that, right?
Can of mocktails.
Can of mocktails. That's what I'm talking about. That is going to be great. Ladies, we're going to get ready to take a quick break, and then I'm going to bring on the rest of our guests at the end of our show when we get ready to do our product sampling, our product reviewing. I am excited because this is the very first one that's going to be made live, guys.
Yeah.
This has not been done before on our show anyways, but we are going to make this live. So, guys, I am excited to have you guys on here in just a little bit. Thank you so much. Folks, pay attention. We are coming right back. Wait till you see what else we got coming on, and wait till you see these drinks made later. I'm so excited. You know what we're about to do. Petty Fox, you get ready to take us out, boss? Oh, man, guys, listen, I cannot get enough of Petty Fox. Petty Fox always knows how to set that tone for us. Thank you so much, Petty. Guys, listen, welcome back, welcome back. I told you I had somebody special on this next one. We want to thank Dr. Sims, Dr. Jason Sims with THC2, one of the sponsors of our show, coming in and dropping in those dimes of knowledge, and he set it up, right? He basically just gave the alley-oop right now. I've got Marissa here, guys, with Mary Bliss. Oh my gosh, I like that wave. That was cute. That was the golf wave right there. Hello, guys. Hello, young lady. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. You are so welcome. Folks, for you that don't know, Mary Bliss is everywhere. If you haven't seen it, you need to go and follow it. We're going to put all the descriptions down here. But I am so excited about you. Like I mentioned before, we've been working together for quite some time now. And like I said, I remember, I believe you were one of the first people to do, if not the first, terp infusion on products. And so, number one, for being women-led, for being strong and stepping out as an entrepreneur, thank you and congratulations.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Like I said, you're everywhere, so much to the tune that you have your own spot now.
I do.
Right? Congratulations on that right there. Would you go and give us a little background about who you are and your business and how you started your brand and this beautiful name of Mary Bliss?
Yes. So Mary, a little bit about me is I started an American shaman.
Okay.
Before 788 had passed, and I found out that I really loved the medicine. So I would just sit there and I'd educate my whole shift.
Nice.
And then when 788 passed, I started working in the dispensaries.
Okay.
Hamilton's was my main one, and I had people journal their terpenes every day to try to help them figure out which medicine was great for them and which one wasn't. And then I just kept researching the terpenes and found that I can take those terpenes by themselves and I can
Combine them?
yeah, I can combine them into my products and infuse them, and people can still get the medicinal benefits of the terpenes without having to have the THC.
Right.
So
That's how you did it, huh?
that's how I did it. So I wanted to make it to where, like I said, where people had another way, an alternative to their medicine. So
This is like, it's super exciting to hear that, because going from starting on the advocate side, right? And you said you started with CBD Shaman, American Shaman, excuse me,
Yes.
which was one of the first CBD companies in Oklahoma that was really going out. They had the brick and mortars, and they specialize in a lot of education as well. And so to get that,
Yes.
and then going over into Hamilton, shout out Hamilton. Is it Hamilton's Buds or just Hamilton's?
Hamilton's Bud and Bloom. in
Okay,
Broken
that's
Arrow.
it. In
Yep.
Broken Arrow. Shout out to them, because they are one of the few dispensaries that I've known throughout this industry at this time doing journaling and encouraging that with their patients. And so, like, definitely a big shout out for the way that they handle their medicinal care over there.
Yes.
And then, I mean, it's a testament to what you've done in figuring out how to create your own business out of that. So not only are you helping patients with alternative ways of taking these essential oils and applying them to themselves, but you were able to get out of that rat race and start your own business and be an entrepreneur. So,
Yes.
like, that's what this was made. That's so amazing to hear.
Thank you.
Definitely. You're so welcome. So, can you tell us a little bit about the products that you started with, and then how you've grown? Because you have your own storefront. So,
Yeah.
tell us how you started, and then what's the most popular, and then your SKUs, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so I originally started with our candles and our wax melts. They were to be able to give you the therapeutic benefits of the terpenes, so just lighting the candle in the air would make you receive the therapeutic calming benefits,
Okay.
or the happy uplifting from the limonene. People really loved the candles, so then that kind of grew on, and then I started with our bath soaks, and that was a huge hit.
The bath soaks,
The bath soaks are really what took off, because you get double benefits with the bath soaks. You get the therapeutic, so you get that relaxing, that sedation. On top of that, you get to absorb the terpenes through your pores too. So you're getting the anti-inflammatory
Double.
properties and stuff that way too.
Man.
So
And then you have the roll-on,
Yep.
correct?
So then the roll-ons, that is our next biggest item product. It's almond oil, hemp oil, 1,000 milligrams of terpenes. And you can literally just apply it anywhere you need to. Different strains are going to do different things.
Okay.
So some will be like Granddaddy Purple to help with migraines, insomnia, pain. Where some will be for PTSD, some will be for mood boosters.
The
Yep.
terpenes being the infuser to change those
Right,
moods
yep.
or whatnot. And
Yep.
so that's a great, I had a question about that, because I think it's awesome, the use of terpenes, right? We hear the word terpenes, and like Doc mentioned, he named a few of them, but there's a plethora of terpenes.
Yes.
Me, as a consumer, I'm like, man, so how do you know which terpenes to use? So, like, how do you know what you're putting in? Is it based on names, like he said about finding what was in it and you're using that? Or did you create terpene profiles and just put them together?
So I match the profiles completely to the cannabis plant. So
Okay,
Granddaddy
okay.
Purple is Granddaddy Purple. So
Strain specific,
Yep,
right?
strain specific.
Okay,
So
okay.
that way you know, like when you go to get Granddaddy
Mm-hmm.
flower or vape or whatever, however you
This should
partake,
be the,
right? You'll get the same benefits with our
Okay.
stuff without that.
without the high.
Without the high,
Mm-hmm,
without the mind altering.
Oh man, that is
But
so
then when
awesome.
you compare them together,
Mm-hmm.
it will help with like an entourage, because
The
you're
entourage
getting
effect.
double terps with your medicine.
Ah, okay. So what I really enjoy is the fact that with the bath salts, these are one of my favorites actually, you're encouraging people to take baths. So
Yes.
for those that don't have a bathtub, I suggest get that Embassy Suite, shout out Embassy Suites with the big tubs, and you get this salt and you put that in there and you soak your body, because it is like you mentioned, it is a great way to really have your body take in the terpenes and take in the aroma, right? And really
Yes.
absorb it. And so just like a topical, when you go on the outside of the skin going in, it's a different effect than coming from the inside going out. And so I find that to be,
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
super unique there. Light you one of these bad boy candles. Tell me about the incense. So the incense, like those are infused as well. So as soon
Yeah.
as you burn, you're not burning the terpenes off?
No, so it burns at the perfect temperature because we don't have any chemicals, toxins, or additives with our stuff. It's only DPG oil and the terpenes. That's it. So they actually burn 45 minutes per stick, and they're 100 milligrams per stick. So super light burn time, light smoke, softly scented, so you're not putting.
I like it. Again,
Yeah.
if you're in that shout out Embassy Suites, getting that hotel room and you getting that granddaddy perp, you can light that incense. I'm not telling you how to stay in the hotel. I'm just saying these terp infused makes it smell good. And so let me ask you this. This is one of my favorite questions. When did the plant touch you?
So I would say about 7 years ago, I tried
Okay.
it. Time is flying. I want to say 7, between 5 and 7. We'll go
Okay.
with that. I went to Colorado. I tried it for the first time with me and my health issues, you know. And I realized, wow, this actually makes me feel better and takes my pain away. So actually, after I went to Colorado is when I left Quick Trip. I
Okay.
was like, okay, I'm going in the CBD world. So I left my management job at Quick Trip to work for American Shaman. So
Let me tell you, this is
That
what
was
I
a
love
jump.
about those live shows is that things happen organically, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of like a traditional, here's what we're gonna do, the way you were able to bring in your previous line of work with Quick Trip and having that high end to go and have a medicinal effect in another market and come back and take advantage of it by getting that education forefront and then branching out and becoming an entrepreneur, like that speaks volumes. In 7 years, I commend you, and that's why you're on this show, so you can help to encourage others as well as get this product in front of people. Because I tell you what, guys, this is something that you guys are going to want to have. We're going to get ready to light a candle here in a little bit, and that makes me so excited. Let me ask you this before I let you go. Going into this next year, because you've been in the industry now since we've started in 2018, 2017 is when you started then and came in. Now that we've been going, where do you see yourself and your product and your brand in the next year, next 2 years in the future? What do you have set for
Yeah.
yourself?
So honestly, I see my products in a lot more stores throughout the United States.
Yeah.
Definitely going through pain clinics, holistic wellnesses, pharmacies, stuff like that on top of the dispensaries.
Big branch. I like that.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff that I
It's
want to
coming up.
see. Yeah, I hope so, but we'll see. Kind of letting the universe guide me. And
Let me tell you, it seems like you're on the right path because it's guiding you just gorgeously. I mean, I look forward to, like I mentioned before, I'm one of your biggest fans. I've always been one of your biggest fans. I find it to be very amazing the way that we can take the terpenes and, like you said, take this nationally, take this internationally, and you have other ways of medicating that aren't the traditional, let me get high, right?
Yeah.
Similar to what Doc said, your medicine you shouldn't be feeling. It should just be making you do more things and
Right.
lighting candles and making you take more baths and your muscles being less ached without having that effect or that
Yep.
mental that speaks volumes about who you are and what you're doing with your company. So
Thank you. I appreciate
you're
that.
so welcome. I'm so happy to have you on. I look forward to everything that's about to happen for you. And I'm going to keep supporting and getting some stuff. Folks, listen, like I said, we've got Miss Marissa here with Mary Bliss, and this is beautiful what she currently has. You guys need to look it up. How do we find your products? Is it on your website?
Yeah.
What do we have?
so MaryBlissEssentials.com. You can Google Mary Bliss Essentials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. all of
TikToks are
that.
going crazy. Her TikToks are going crazy, so you might want to go ahead and follow her as well. So that'll be good. Definitely get out and find these products. I'm saying from personal use, I do use them. I suggest you try them. I look forward to finding you back up here in another 3 months and seeing, the growth and things that you've accomplished.
I look forward to being back.
Yes. It always gets me excited when people say they want to come back. So, man, listen, guys, I told you, we've got a stacked house of queens in here tonight. Like I said, we're going to show some things. Guys, I'm going to get ready to get us into a break, get ready to bring up our next guest, and let me tell you, this young lady, she is fire. And I mean, she's growing fire. And this is going to be crazy. So stay tuned. More to come. Thank you for paying attention. And young lady, we look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you. Appreciate
You're welcome.
it.
Petty Fox, roll us out of here, will you? Petty Fox, again, thank you, bro. Slaying it over there. Guys, he's going to be, and just so you know, he's going to come over. What'd you say? Yes. He's got my buttons. He's going to. Yes. You pay attention, guys. Check us out. I'm going to put some in the post. My man's going to get ready to do a show for us, and you guys are going to want to be here for this. I'm at Studio 30 on Thursdays nights. We're starting tomorrow night. Hold on, today's Wednesday, right? Yeah? Next Thursday, sorry. Yeah, he's got a gig other than our gig, but he's got another gig. Next Thursday, guys, we're going to start Petty Fox over at Studio 30. He's going to be starting a residency. We're going to see how we can let you guys see more of his talents. It's absolutely ridiculous. And let me tell you, I'm so proud of what we're doing tonight. The show is going so amazing. The energy that's here with all these queens right now is absolutely breathtaking. I'm just so blessed and so thankful that they are all here. Listen, they've got energy galore. I told you I had Lady here, all right? And I'm going to introduce Lady, but Lady is going to do the introducing because these women, Lady, would you come on and just tell people who you are and what we have here? Because I can't do it more than what you're about to do, I promise you.
Okay, so honestly, I am really excited of how this night turned out. It's been like just me not knowing what was going to happen
What
to
to
running
expect,
into
yeah.
something amazing. Just because I'm here tonight, and then I can also have Grace on, okay? She's like one of the best testimonies that I've ran into, and one of the reasons like my love even for the plant went like sky high. So it was just, she wasn't even expected to be sitting down here, so it's like I put her on the spot, and I'm sorry, friend, but I needed you here tonight.
I was giving
and
her
her
the spot.
testimony.
And that's friendship right there, folks. I'm telling you. So you did this introduction. I've got it of you two. We've got Gracie and we've got you, Miss Lady. Introduce your brand.
Yes,
okay?
so we
And
have
then-
Fika.
Okay.
Fika. And so it just goes back to the word, the meaning, what I'm all about, honestly, as a person, and
Okay.
what I try to bring out through my brand. Fika's a moment of slow down and appreciate the good things in life. So we kind of like gave it a twist, like you just smoke, relax, stay, live on gratitude. I'm big on
Okay.
gratitude. I feel like there's so many things to be grateful for every single day. Like we just gotta wake up, be happy, and
Yeah.
just
Concur.
do good, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's what I want to bring through my flower. You smoke Fika, you just
You feel good.
just slow down, chill, like
Yeah. Preferably in the cone. That's my preference there. That makes
Yeah.
you slow down. But yes, wow, that's amazing. Okay, now where are you from? Where are you located right now? Where's your base operations?
Yeah, so right now we have our facility in in the Waterloo area,
Okay.
Oklahoma City. Yeah.
Okay, see.
Yeah, we are part of the Fire Ranch family, and just doing our thing, small facility, just
Putting out this
Yeah.
fika, putting out this fire.
Yes,
That's what's
yes,
happening right here. And I mean, what makes me excited about that is what you're here for, because not only did you just bring all this flower, but what you wanted to talk about. You have a testimony about just this testimony. Let's just go into it. Would you be able to tell us a little bit about what has happened to you and then what you've been able to achieve since knowing that, and how we're addressing it currently?
My name is Gracie, and I am from the FICA team. So I got into, I'm going to start off with cannabis, not the company.
Okay.
So I started off with cannabis just because I was already tired to be on medication. So let me go back. I got in a car accident. They rushed me to the hospital. I get an MRI, and they said, "Hey, Gracie, you have something in your head." I was scared. I said, probably a tumor, cancer, super scared what was happening. 6 months later, I get diagnosed with Arnold-Chiari malformation, which
Okay.
is a rare, a rare disease,
Okay.
or a lot of people say a chronic illness.
Okay.
And there's no cure for it. So the only solution that I was told is medication and brain surgery, which is scary.
Right.
I go into a whole treatment of yoga, therapy, acupuncture, 5 years until I decide, hey, this is time for me to get brain surgery.
Okay.
I get brain surgery. It's called a decompression. So Arnold-Chiari, my condition that I have is my brain is falling down through my cerebellum. So it's putting pressure on my skull.
Okay.
So that, just that alone, the pressure, you're not able to run. I'm not able to do exercise, anything that has to do with strength.
Okay.
Anything. I'm serious about
Can I
it.
interrupt?
Yes.
Anything.
Laughing. She was having a great time, and it was like if she laughed too hard, her brain will,
So it coming down is mean more or less of the brain being loose, and any major gyrations are going to cause more inflammation.
Right.
more or less?
Sneezing,
Okay.
coughing,
Okay.
laughing, and all of these things that happens on a
Daily.
daily basis.
Right.
Daily basis, the headaches that I get is more severe than migraines.
Oh wow.
Okay, so migraines. Everyone
Those are
says
powerful.
migraines are
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
What I have comes with me feeling nauseous, dizzy, slur speech.
A cascading
It's
of
just-
side effects
it's
that
so
come
many
off
things.
of that. Okay.
I was at my breaking point, and I said, I need to find something that's gonna help me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I keep on, they put me on so many medications, the only thing it does, it puts me to sleep.
And mask the stuff. That's
And
really what it's doing. It's just masking.
It puts me to sleep. There's a brand that everyone goes and buys off the counter, which I was doing the same thing too. The only thing that did to me was just make me sweat. It numbs me for 2-3 hours, and then I'm back with the headaches. I'm back with not being able to interact, laugh,
function
talk, not
properly.
function. And I tried cannabis.
Okay.
I
We start
said-
with flour.
We start with flour.
Okay, and so that was your touch into. Well, I mean, that answers one of my favorite questions: is how did the plant touch you? And I mean, it touched you. And this is what you started with: was fika flour or flour in general.
Can we talk
was-
about, sorry, can we talk
ahead.
about the time that we had the animal lemon, right? The animal
Flour.
lemon.
I was
on.
about to say that.
You can
Fika
open-
flour.
Started with fika
Yes.
flour.
I started
Okay.
with fika flour.
I mean, it
So-
was just the day I remember that I made her laugh so hard as she like literally said, "Lady, this was the first time that I wanted to laugh this hard," and I laughed, and my brain didn't do what it usually does.
And I didn't go to sleep. I didn't pass out.
You were functional.
I was functional. So we had animal lemon there, which is very a citrus
Very much so.
smell. I smoked. We were smoking, hanging out, and she made me laugh. And to the point where she made me laugh is when your eyes are teary, you're cracking up, that type of laugh.
That's that smoke laugh. That's
okay.
that good smoke laugh
So
right there.
That's something that never happens to me because
Okay.
I know how to hold myself back from laughing, and I'm interacting, but
Protecting yourself.
I know what my brain is going to do. Arnold Chiari kicks my butt every day. I smoked Animal Lemon. She made me laugh. And a second
It's funny how she
later,
said
this
that,
is
but it
me.
was.
A second later, I said, "Oh my God, lady, something happened to me. And you are not going to believe this." I'm getting goosebumps now. And I said to her, "You're not going to believe this." And then I started crying. You know how many years I've been through laughing, but I have to either remove myself from the room or just excuse myself and say, just hold on a second. You want to see what I do when I laugh? I see dark, I can function, and I have to just cover myself and just hold myself tight because I get pounding headaches. I look at Lady and said, "Lady," and I was crying.
She
And
was
I said,
crying. I was like,
"Lady,
"What
you're not going to
happened?"
believe what's happening to me right now. I feel the pounding, but it doesn't hurt. I have no pain." And she said, "Friend, what are you talking about?" And I said, "Arnold Chiari, what I have is not kicking me right now.
Yeah,
Lady,
yeah.
let's laugh."
Let's
And-
go.
And the
Oh
doctor's
my
gonna be
God.
proud of me because I told her write that down. And the more I've gotten into the flower learning, because it's all about, we learn every day, right?
You learn every
I'm-
day,
I
and in
didn't
this
come in here.
experience.
Yeah, I'm not an expert. I don't say. I do have the most amazing grower. I say I have to shout out to the hubby. He's killing it.
Shout out to the
His
hubby.
genetics, yes.
He's got the genetics and he's
Yes.
doing the growing.
Yeah, he's my, he's the head grower. He is, you can take a look at the flowers, Perry. Tell me
Oh
what
yeah,
you
listen.
think,
So I'm maybe a little premature right now, but we going down to FICA. That's what we doing. We're gonna take the tour. I'm gonna take the guys, and we're gonna go get an up close, personal look at what you guys have here.
For sure.
Animal Lemon, I think, is a cross of animal cookies and lemon, maybe lemonade. It's very citrus. I am a sativa guy myself. Fancy myself a connoisseur. I don't like those words. I just like cannabis, and so.
You're an OG.
I am definitely an OG, and my nose will tell me. But this animal lemon smells delicious, and so you started with the animal lemon, but really you started with their flower, with your flower,
Right.
and then from there it really goes into the process of how that stuff is made, because now you're using this as your medicine, correct?
That's correct.
Okay,
And that's what.
that's what this is about.
This is exactly what it's about. If I'll be honest with you, I know there's and still till now, there's too much stigma going around.
Yes.
Just the word cannabis alone,
Yes.
right? I said to Lady when I was not in pain, I said to her, "I wish I can put this in my forum." I interact with so many people that have my condition because we talk and chat among us, trying to find ways to feel better.
Right.
Because there's no days that we wake up with my condition and we feel good.
Or that it's
And-
a traditional normal,
Right. And I
so-
said, I want to text this, I want to upload it and say, try cannabis. And I'm not recommending it, but me personally, I laughed after so many years without me being in pain or without me passing out, having to call 911, which is 100% true.
And she didn't mention, but she had surgery and
Right.
and it was like a whole process that she shares, and it's crazy because she's an amazing human being and great to work with, and when I said it skyrocketed, I was like, damn, yes, the team, so we're doing great things, and I'm excited to have you over, see how we do
Yes.
things. We try to keep a small batch. Shout out to all the amazing growers in Oklahoma. There's great growers right now.
We have a lot
so,
of
yes.
options here, and I think that's what the system has allowed us, right? A lot of people have different opinions on the way that the state rolled out with the system, but I feel like having it carve itself out like it's doing right now. There's been growers that have come, there'll be growers that will come, but there's some that are here that are making their stance, and having you guys put your foot down, put a Staples out of OKC, small batch, is my prefer. I deal with a lot. I love growers. I love the mass, but I prefer personally
yeah.
a small batch because I just feel a little bit more personal with how that goes. And that also goes into, and I don't know if you guys do this yet or whatnot. I know we do the flower, but going into like other products. So like, Mitty's Medicinal, like sourcing great quality that ends up becoming another great quality product.
Yes.
And that's what this is about.
Yes,
It's
yes.
the ongoing production of finding those things for stories like yours that we have a solution. Because one of my favorite sayings is we're all patients. You just haven't been diagnosed yet.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you need it, see Dr. Sims, little baseless, shout out THC2 as our sponsor, but he will help you. But definitely, this is, let's go.
And can I say-
real
yeah,
quick,
for
how
sure.
long, since we were talking about the time frame, can you give me a time frame of when you had the car wreck, when you've had the surgery, to when you actually started with the medicine and figured out that this is now your choice is flower and you're using that as a mitigation of the other medicines?
My car accident, if I'm not mistaken, was in 2011. I get my decompression, my brain surgery. They opened me up, cracked my bones, and made space for my brain. That was in 2016.
Okay.
And I continued on medication for a good 4 years until we got to 2020, and I was introduced to cannabis.
The pandemic,
Man.
everybody was smoking.
Wow, this is, and I'll tell you the time frames. I mean, obviously, Oklahoma has only been in it's 2023. We started in 2018, and within this 5 years, going into the 6 years now, to have it where you see so much growth.
Yes.
That happens. You see so much development, and you see so much taking health into your own hands.
That's
Right,
exactly
and then
what
spreading that
happened,
word, because that's what keeps not only our businesses alive, but it keeps us being healthier.
Right.
And educating the patients, right? Like going back, I love the conversation the doctor had, like terpenes, teaching the patients to shop, like what's good
What is
for
he
you,
looking
what is your
for?
body asking for, right? Because and it brings me back to like something I'm experiencing now with like the testing. I
Yes.
get testing back on some of my flower. I'm like, what? Like, and
That's
then the
not-
terps are. So teaching the patient
yeah.
that, like, and writing it down and taking notes, what works for you, you know?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
we all want to feel good. This medicine feels good. We need to learn the balance, right? Learn how to not let the medicine overtake you, because just like any
Control
medicine,
those
it can
side
do bad
effects.
for you, you know?
Correct.
So, like, as a whole community, breaking that stigma, right? Like, being a mom, like, it's the example you want to bring, just everything around, right?
Right.
So, yeah, I wanted
That
to
makes
share
me
that.
happy.
Yes.
Man, listen, you're a leader. I tell you that, young lady. I mean, you came in boss style. I love it. I love it. Let me end with this real quick, because we've got you guys on. We know that I plan on bringing the team down to see the facility,
let's do
doing
it.
an even more close-up interview. My favorite question: when did the plant touch you?
Well, for me, honestly, I was introduced to the plant as a recreational, right?
Okay.
I never saw any medicinal side to it, being completely honest. It felt good. I partied. I'm not like, I'll take a shot, I'll drink a beer, but I'm not, that my choice to have fun was cannabis. Right? So I was introduced probably like 15, whatever,
All right, yeah.
And I come from a very strict, like, I don't even, no smoking in my parents' house kind of
Right,
thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So they know what I'm doing, they love what I'm doing, and I'm educating them, right?
Yes.
I'm teaching my parents that it's medicine, and now they're understanding it, and I have my
Breaking
dad,
stigmas in
yes,
your
I
own
have my dad
household.
medicating in other ways
Yes.
without the, so it's like, it's like a whole new world for
Ah.
me. And then my hubby's like killing it, and I'm like, we're doing this, right? And
Yeah,
I mean,
listen, there's some
exciting.
stuff in here, and listen, as I said before, we've got some queens in the building, and what's beautiful is that we've got entrepreneurs, and when you see people take that risk to go and do their own, and then they're helping so many others. Let me get that on there. Check this out. Did I get it there? Get
Well,
the
that's how it all
yeah.
started. Shout out
It's,
to my little box. That was all
right?
like a passion
This
project.
was a start right here.
That was,
I like the
that's my
packaging.
baby.
The packaging looks great, and then we come in, and they've brought some flavors in
People
here.
are like, I'm over the pre-rolls, because Oklahoma, like so many type
Yeah.
of pre-rolls you find. So people are like, let me see your flower. So I'm like, I got
you
you. I
got
brought out the
pomade?
flower.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, they got some stuff over here, some gas cakes, some Scotty's cake.
Yes, we have
a lot
some.
of biscotti.
Hey,
I like
look,
that.
look out for some new drops. We stay pheno hunting. That's
Okay.
one thing. Like that's what hubby's doing. You know, just
Oh.
working on genetics, like crosses.
teamwork.
Yeah. So
That's teamwork.
we're all a team.
Hey, listen, I'm happy to be a part of this team. Like, this is about to become some things. Guys, listen. This is amazing. I told you we had some queens in here. This is the FICA brand. Make sure to like them, follow them. Where can they
Fika
get
Babe.
FICA,
So-
excuse me, the FICA brand.
Yeah, so we have at fika.okc, we have Fika Things for the pre-rolls lifestyle. We try to do the on our cultivation page. We're gonna start showing more of the educational
Ooh, I'm
side.
excited to see that.
You know, and really touching base on things like this. Like for me, testimonies
getting
are
the
huge.
testimony.
All my with the dispensary partners is not just, I'm not trying to just sell you flour. You know, I want to interact with my patients. What are my patients asking for? How is, you know, can I get some feedback? Like that's
Yes.
huge on me. Where personally me, like I like to do things right. So yeah, I
You're
try
right
to
the
show
first time.
face. I do the same. I wear many hats. We all wear all the hats. You know, if I have to go in there and leave, we go in there as a team. We leave. We do what we gotta do, right? But
like
at the
that.
end, just to bring that quality and yeah,
This
just
is gonna
all for
listen,
the patients.
guys. You're gonna see it. They're gonna put the links down below. Make sure you're following. I'm telling you, with testimonies like this, being real, with smells like this right here,
That's some
with
Scotty's cake.
flavors.
I like it.
This is which one?
Scotty's.
Okay.
That has been our
This
top
one's-
seller
this one's-
actually.
that
Scotty's
smells
cake, very
delicious. And then what's
potent.
this one here?
That's some great biscotti. We have a hash collab coming soon with Greenstone. Super excited about
Okay.
that.
No,
Yeah.
that's what you got coming up.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
pay
we got some
attention
fun
to that,
things.
guys, and then make sure you're following because, like I said, we're gonna come back in 3 months. We're gonna do a follow up. We're gonna take the team down. We're gonna go see this operation, and we're gonna find out more about this brand because I tell you, they're powerful, guys. They're powerful, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for being on
No,
tonight.
thank
We
you.
look
This has
forward to
been
finding
great.
out more about what's gonna happen and being a part of this growth and this
Yes,
change you
let's
guys
do it.
have. Definitely, guys.
Shout out to this team. They're like this. They have gave us some amazing fruits, just a vibe. Like everybody's super nice. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome.
And yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
there
Shout
it
out
is.
to all the amazing
My
ladies
God.
over there.
All right, guys, listen. You know what that sound is. I'm going to have Petty Fox take us out. Pay attention. I've got one more powerhouse coming up for you, and she is the very first start of a CBD body cream. And I tell you, the first in the state. I remember her because I got the first billboard. She had the second. So I'm excited about bringing her on. Guys, this is going to be great. Pay attention. We'll see you soon.
Said the coffee scrub.
Scrub. I told you
I
about
need
that one. Yeah.
That'll be good. The coffee scrub.
No,
is
I'm
good. Guys, welcome back. Oh my gosh, listen, we brought up the heavy hitter. Esma, let me tell you guys, was feeling this. And this brand here.
I'm a light hitter.
She's a light hitter, she says, knocking things down. She's been in the game for a good amount of time, right? And I say this because I remember this is the first butter that was on the shelves that I remember at the start of this. Why? Because we've helped a plethora of patients. And so when I seen it and then I still see it going, it's a testament to a person's belief, a person's commitment, and then consistency. And that's what I can speak about this young lady who's up here with us next. Miss Esma, welcome. Thank you so much for blessing
you.
us with your presence today.
Thank you.
For
I'm
sure,
excited
for
to be
sure.
here.
Oh man, listen, I can speak highly all day, but I like when people speak about themselves, right?
Thank you.
So you're so welcome. Why don't you go ahead and tell these lovely folks about your brand and who you are and what's going on, what you got going here?
I just have something that can help anybody in the household feel good. So, babies to grandparents, men, women. It's an all-inclusive product, and the whole brand revolves around this one.
Okay, this is the first. This is the bread and butter, and it's a massage butter. But what's beautiful about this, because I use it. So remember, folks, while you guys watch us, a lot of these people that we bring on this show, we're developing relationships with, or we may have relationships loved, and this is one of them. I personally use this in my home. My sons use it. My nieces use it. My wife uses it, and it's CBD infused, and I love it. And I think that with that being in there, what's beautiful is it's shiny, but it's not oily residuey, and I just love it because it absorbs
And if you
so
just
fast.
massage it in there a little bit,
Literally.
give yourself some love.
Yes.
I have a massage therapist that no, she's a therapist.
Okay. She's a
Okay?
therapist.
She's a mental health therapist and coach,
Okay.
actually. She gifted my products to some of her clients to help them use it as a product, yes, but as something to work with. You know what I mean? Because in therapy, they give you all these tools for you to
use.
use, with whatever you're struggling with. And it was something like to guide them, like, to feel your emotions and then like let it go. But it's like
It's a
physical,
release.
yeah.
It's a physical tool
So
that you can use.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool, and that was one of the latest things. But yeah, this is my baby.
What I love about your baby is your baby isn't ugly. I can tell you that right now.
Thank you.
It's used for all skin types.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much. And so when you're using all skin types, my brother has eczema, and utilizing this helped him to not have to use the steroid as much. And so the thing is with most steroids, as people, if you don't know, they're addictive as well. And so once you have that going into your system, you won't have to use as much, and that decreases the effect of it. And so using this as a substitute and helping with the decreasing of the steroid, this is that product. And so, like, wow, this is your baby. This damn thing is amazing. And look at my beautiful fingers. I just, bam.
See, it
boom, look at
absorbed
that.
it after
did.
just a second.
That's not the 5 fingers to the face. I'm not Dave Chappelle, but this is great, right? And so we go in from there to this other product, which I really do like this product too. Before I don't have no crusties. I did it. I used it. This is the lip balm, and this lip balm is made with real cannabis fats, fresh and raw ingredients, and I love it because it's not like waxy. You know what I mean? Like there's some you put on and it's just like you're tasting wax. Not a terpene infused wax either, Miss Mary. Not that at all. But it's just waxy. And so I really do enjoy this. But what I'm excited about you to talk about is your latest project. Would you be able to, this is the first in the market in Oklahoma that I've seen. I know it is. Would you be able to tell people about this beautiful package right here?
So,
can you zoom in on that? Where are we at? Check this out. This is the first on, guys. I mean, like I said, we're bringing some powerhouses in here. We've got some women that are doing amazing things in their genre, their essence, their fields, and they're innovators all the way around. This right here is chewing gum, CBD-infused chewing gum, guys. We went from terpenes, we went from nano-infused, we went from quality flower to CBD gum. Come on, girl.
So Dr. Sims kind of teed it up earlier.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Yep. That was the layup. Bam.
But
Doc,
it's
shout out Dr. Jason Sims, THC2.
it's made with some nano water soluble.
Okay.
So
Wow.
the way it works is you're delivering the medicine in a low dose through your mouth.
Okay.
So for everybody that has kidney and liver issues and things like that, they're able to bypass the digestive system as a whole and just go straight through.
Straight in.
So for people with like high anxiety, anger issues, so kids that lack focus, it's a low dose. It's not a product that's going to get you stoned. It's real medicine. I'm using CBD. I do have Delta 8 too because I wanted the 2 different flavors on there,
Which flavors do we have?
So the CBD is lemon mint, and then
the other one is
Sourberry.
Sourberry. All right, watch out now. I like lemon stuff anyways. Kind of like that animal lemon. We're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to try it later, though. It's going to be good. And then some of this lemon. Sorry, it was a little too much. We're going to do it. Okay, so this is amazing. Even what you were just mentioning about the kids, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a great approach in your product and that product approach, going from any patient, but really specializing where a child.
Hello, welcome to MCM. Actually, we have a Joy here from Black Majic, and actually, Joy, I actually have a couple questions. I want you to tell me a little bit about you and what brought you into the cannabis industry.
Okay, so my name is Joy, and yes, Black Majic. What got me into learning about cannabis and the medical uses is that I worked in the medical field and I saw so many people on prescription drugs and how it affected them. And then I worked at a dispensary when the wave, came to Tulsa. And what I noticed was that majority of the customers were seniors. They were older, and they were getting off of like opioids and other heavy medications, and they were feeling great, you know. And so I just really enjoyed seeing people feel better. And that's what got me. It's just seeing people actually like healing, you know. That's what got me into it. That's what I love to see.
That's what we love to hear, because, you know, it's important to understand that this is a medical. I mean, wreck didn't pass, and, you know, it will come. It definitely will come. But we have a lot of medical patients that we definitely need to make sure they're taken care of. So I appreciate what you do. Tell me, is that your passion?
I have a lot of passions. My passion is just helping people have a good time. We like to host events, health and healing, mental health, mental wellness. I'm all about teaching. I have a business called You Got the Juice, which is actually not only is a juice business, but we teach people how to be in control of their minds, their thought processes, teaching people how to think, how to breathe, how to, you know, just feel better overall, because it's like, to see progress of, you know, where you were and where you've come from and where you are now, it's like, it's a really awesome thing. And so it's a gift that I love to share with other people. So.
I'm interested in that. I'm going to have to figure out some more about this information that you have here.
Yes.
So, actually, juicing is important. I won't go off on that tangent.
Juicing is how I got into all of this, actually,
Okay.
because the more I started to learn about health, the more I started to learn how important the mind was connected to everything, you know, even to the things that you want to create, you know, your life. So once I got into that, it was just like the gates just opened, and I was off for the races.
Do you juice with fan leaves?
We actually just started. Some of me and my friends, Ebony with 828, just started experimenting with hemp leaves and also cannabis leaves to try and see, you know, what the effects, not necessarily for the high, but for the medical effects that will, you know, take place that people will have for drinking juice.
I actually have a little bit of information on that.
Do you?
I do, just a little bit. So it's preventative medicine. So if you think about it as taking your daily vitamins, if you actually juice those leaves, they are actually medical. They really are.
Yeah.
You're not going to get the head high, but you're going to get all the medical benefits. So yeah, you guys are on the right path. That's super exciting to hear.
It is, yes. Just any way that we can share health and healing is what we're all about. So that's what we love.
So with that, when a patient comes into your store, how do you help them understand what their dose is and how to dose and their deliveries? And I mean, there's so much information, and it can be overwhelming, especially if they've never been into a dispensary before.
So what we teach our staff is to ask questions. Ask questions. Have you ever tried marijuana before? Have you ever tried anything with THC? Or have you tried CBD? You know, where have you started with this? And then, you know, we just gauge by their questions, you know, how they answer the questions. No, I've never tried it before. It's my first time. Okay, what is your purpose? Oh, I'm having, you know, trouble sleeping. I need something to help me sleep, okay? You know, and then we just, you know, we probe, we ask questions, because the more questions that you ask, the better that you can service the customer, you know.
And when they say they've never had cannabis before, how do you steer them towards what they need?
Okay, so we introduce them to edibles. We introduce them to the many forms that you can, you know, utilize the plant. Topicals, you know, are you having joint pain? Do you need something to rub on your joints? We just introduce them to the many different forms. It's like when you come in, you're getting a class, you know, like the different people that work in there, they're very educated, and, you know, they study, they read, so they're very knowledgeable, and they're going to want to teach you. So when you come in there, it's not just like, oh, well, I need this, that, and that. I heard it was like, well, hold on, slow down. Let's talk about this first, and let's get some education. And so also when, you know, vendors come in, they educate us. So everybody's continuously learning. So even today, before we even got on, you know, you were teaching me something. I was like, okay. So we pass that information on to the patient to help them, you know, make the best informed decision.
That's awesome. That's like you. With that being said, there's two terms. I think I did this out of order.
It's okay.
But there's two terms. I want you to elaborate on these. Pothead and medical use. Tell me what do you perceive the difference as?
Well, each are just labels that someone's given to, you know, different categories of people. but they come with stigmas, you know. So the pothead comes with the stigma of someone that's lazy, that doesn't do anything, get anything done. But majority of the people that I know are very active in, you know, their crafts and what it does, and it actually helps them if they're dealing with anxiety, stress, worries, because there's so many things going on, you know, on a constant basis that people are dealing with that we have no idea about, you know. And so that stigma of someone being lazy because they're doing this, that, and the third is just, you know, a label that someone put. Now, you can't indulge too much and then just be, you know, a couch potato. That is realistic. We're not going to sit here and be like, oh, no, that can happen. You can get stuck, and then but it's your responsibility to know, to gauge, you know, your usage, and if it's helping you or if it's hurting you. And then the medical side is, you know, people that specifically use it for pain, to help with emotional, you know, well-being, stress, things of that nature.
What if a patient comes in and he over medicates?
Okay.
He doesn't understand what his dose was, and his friend gave him an edible, and they thought that was going to be a good idea. So how do you help that?
Well, one, you just told me about, what was it called?
Choline.
Choline. So now I have that to you know, to teach our staff about. But choline, so we'll add that to our arsenal. But also, you know, previously, if someone's come in and they've talked about over medicating, you know, the things that we will offer would be like drink teas, you know, relax, you know. If it gets too bad, go to the hospital. There's nothing wrong with that. So just basically telling them, talking them through it. You know, no one's ever come in and been, you know, gracious for that. But, you know, if someone has come in and talked about, you know, that they didn't have a very good feeling while they were using, then we would just educate them and say, okay, well, we know, okay, first of all, was it an indica, sativa? Was it, you know, what was the effect that you're going for, and what happened? And then we can trace it through that.
I like that. I like that a lot. And pets.
Mm-hmm.
You think we need to medicate our pets?
So I'm a pet owner. I love them, you know, and realistically, pets have a lot of anxiety. I was thinking about this, you know, pets in the wild, they're not that anxious, you know, but living with humans, they have taken on a lot of our stress and anxiety, because things are vibrations, but we won't get into that. But, and so you have a lot of pets that, you know, when the owners leave home, you know, the family members leave home, they tear up the house because they're stressed, they're anxious, and things of that nature. And so, you know, there's different edibles, peanut butters that you can give to your pets to help them relax too, you know, to help them chill out, so you're not stressed about the dog being left at home in the crate, you know, he's chilled out, you're chilled out, everybody's just enjoying their day, you know.
So what kind of medicine is it that you're giving the pets?
So, you know, there's CBD, and there's ones that have THC, and there's different dosage, just like with humans. You can't just give them anything, you know. So there's different dosages, and there's everything from peanut butters to like little cookies to, I mean, you know, people are very creative. There's all sorts of things that you can give to your pets. Little syringes that you can put in their mouths. So there's a wide variety of products that you can utilize for your little furry babies.
I like that. I've got a rotten furry baby. He's actually a beast, and he gets lots of CBD. So we can handle one another.
Yeah, especially if we got a big dog. It's like Great Danes, you know, they're big, gentle giants, but they can get very anxious and, you know, tear some stuff up. So I just have a lot of friends that have pets. I have pets, so that's just another thing that a lot of us like to educate about, because people only think it's one thing, and it's like, no, there's like a whole rainbow of ways to utilize this beautiful medical plant that was here before any of us existed.
That's true. I actually want to point out a fact that you are not only are you a family-owned business, but you are actually a Black-owned business. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you know this, but the first dispensary owner, a Black American dispensary owner, was in 2009 in Colorado. So I think that's an important factor that, I mean, this is Women's Month, women-owned, Black women owned. I mean, these are factors these are barriers that we continue to break. So
Power to the people.
Yes, ma'am. We're not only breaking stigmas at cannabis, but we're breaking other stigmas. So, I mean, that's important too.
Yes.
So, education, wow. I literally did not know what to expect today. I was called and said, hey, can you do this? And I was like, yeah, of course I can. Why not? I can do anything.
And even admit she had a preconceived notion. She didn't know.
I did. I was like, what if we weren't a good fit? What if our views were different? What if?
And that's okay, because everybody has to have different views so the world can go round.
100. But what's super cool is that we kind of aligned, and I think that I have a new partner in crime that we're going to learn more things together. So this is super exciting. Thank you, Perry.
Yes, thank you, Perry. Thank you.
I don't know how much time we have left.
What we do?
With that being said, can I talk a little bit about the history of cannabis? Women in cannabis, just real fast. I don't know how much time we have left, but
you guys can give us a countdown. 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay. This is things that I thought was pretty cool. Like I was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. This was last notice, so I'm like, okay. I wrote a book. Like y'all think I'm kidding? I'm not. I really did. I wrote a book. But actually, the coolest part that I found out was about cannabis history, and women have actually always led this industry. So it's a cannabis. It's yay.
You would think so, dealing with men, it would just be something that women would just have to.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Why would we not?
I know.
The plant is a female. I mean, heck. We got that going on. But with that being said, it actually, if we go back to the Miso civilization, gosh, that's like literally, there was a lady, and her name is Ishtar, and she was actually deemed the god of healing. You know what she medicated with? Cannabis. Is that not exciting? Like literally, she was a goddess of healing, and she medicated with hemp, cannabis. But, we go on through history. Queen Victoria, I don't know if you knew this, but she was prescribed cannabis by her doctor. And so the queen used cannabis. I mean, we've had to fight this legalization and all of this stuff, but I mean, this has been in our history. This isn't new, guys.
It's on the Egyptian walls. It's everywhere,
I mean, if we go back to 1550, there are literally 700 different medical hemp properties and old school remedies that is true. Like there are books that have been written about this. That was also written by a female, just FYI. Thought I'd throw that in there. But in 1969, one of the coolest things is that we had Margaret Mead. She actually was the first person to go and advocate for cannabis to Congress. 1969. We've been fighting for this for a long time. Still got a long ways to go. Is that the countdown? I also have Mary Jane. Do you know who Mary Jane is? We've heard this term. We've heard her name. It really is a lady. Like, her name is Mary Jane Rothburn. She was known as Brownie Mary. What was super crazy is that she actually went to jail 3 times in California for making cannabis brownies and selling them. Pretty sure she probably did very well, but she got caught. So she had to serve time. 500 community hours in a AIDS foundation. She then decided that her brownies actually truly did help the patients. And so she quit selling the brownies and she gave them out. She is the reason, she is not the reason, but she is a reason that actually became legalization in California, which we all know that was a stepping stone for any state. So they've been legal the longest. It was a female. Imagine that. And then we also have, her name was Wanda James.
Wanda James.
She was the first American.
She's probably my relative.
She might be. But I thought that was super exciting that she actually was the first American black woman to own a dispensary in 2009. So that was super cool in my studies today. And then the last one I want to talk about, because it was the most recent, is Jane West. I don't know if that's a big name, but I don't know if you really know her history. So Jane West actually was a event coordinator. She did it very well. With her event coordinating, she actually publicly decided that she was going to be promoting of cannabis. She got fired. No worries. She's an amazing cannabis event planner in Colorado. You go, girl. So that's kind of a little bit of history on the cannabis. Just kind of
You learn something new.
female stuff.
Yeah. Woman power. There we go. Okay, so you can find us, because we're closing out. I believe our time is wrapping up. So you can find us, Black Magic 918, on Instagram and on Facebook as well. And stay tuned because, with You Got the Juice, my other business, I'm going to plug this. On May 7th from 12 to 6 at the BA Creative Center in Broken Arrow. Come out because we're having a fundraiser for our building. And we're having sound bowls, yoga, meditation, some really cool stuff. Some artists are going to be performing. So, yeah, come see
I'm in.
Okay, yeah.
I'll be there. Come join us.
Yes, come join us.
Definitely.
All righty.
Yay. culture. Hi, welcome back. We actually have Kimmie from Jackalope Farms, and I'm super excited. She has living soil, organically grown, sun-grown, so many questions. And then the last one that I have to just throw this term out, hugel culture. Have you heard of that? Like, I literally had to look it up. I had to check it out because I've heard of K&F farming. Yep. So with that being said, after what I've read, my first question to you is, tell me the difference between K&F farming and hugel culture.
Well, they could go hand in hand.
I kind of felt that.
Yeah, they're both, okay, K&F is Korean natural farming, which is making your own amendments and feeding your soil with what you... It's like feeding your soil with what you have. And hugel culture is kind of, it's in the same line. So hugel culture is like a permaculture technique that's been around for centuries. Hugel culture is actually a German word that means hill culture, or little hills. I can't quite remember, but something with hills. Hugel is a hill in German. And that technique, it's not quite how I do it, but you stack logs at the bottom. That's like your base. That's your carbon.
Okay.
And then you start layering more organic material. So you add like grass clippings or manure or compost, and those are your nitrogens. So your carbon is touching your nitrogen, and that's what creates decomposing.
Gotcha.
And that makes a big compost, and that's what like builds soil. Like, that's the mechanism that where all your soil comes from is carbon reacting with nitrogen. So a little chemistry, but...
No, that's super exciting. So with that being said, you have to tell about the beds because you're not in the ground. I mean, you grow differently. So not everyone understands, like, it's not in the dirt. It's actually in soil. But let her explain how this soil is.
Okay, so it is in the ground, but kind of different. So our native soil on the property that we're on, that we bought, the native soil is 100% clay and rock. So I didn't want to like go and buy a bunch of bag soil that's shipped in from other places because that's just like against what I stand for. And so the solution was like, all right, we have to figure out how to get plants in the ground with the land that we're working with as fast as possible to get this farm started. So we bought this property 2 years ago, and the solution was, all right, let's make hugel culture pits. So I'm calling them hugel pits, and I've never seen anyone do them like this big.
I love that.
Like, it was like extremism. I'm like, all right, let's just go big. So we made two of them. They're 100-foot by 30-foot pits that are like dug down 3 feet deep.
Okay.
So like little big, shallow swimming pools, basically. So then we started backfilling with all these rotting logs on our property and some like fresh cut down trees. So they're basically 18 inches of filled logs on the first layer in these pits. And then we added organic hay on top of that, and then organic compost, which is rabbit compost and horse compost that we got from really good sources. And then we added like topsoil from other parts of Oklahoma. So Oklahoma topsoil is like our top base.
Okay.
To the top.
Okay.
Mixed with compost.
So
compost is the most important.
So it's considered a living soil.
Oh yes, it's like its
and
entire ecosystem.
Okay, and so it's an ecosystem. Explain how that makes it living.
So with living soil, there's a lot of, think of it as its own little world. Like, there's people, like, you know, how we all interact with each other, it's exactly how living soil does. So there's microbes, there's beneficial bacteria, fungi, and then, so with living soil, the main thing, which a lot of people will talk about, is using like fungus and bacteria, and that like eats, like say you feed your plant alfalfa or something, so the little microbes come up, or worms or something, eat that, and then what they excrete is what is available to the plant. So then the plant eats that. So they all work together. The plant needs the microbes to be able to eat the food.
So you have worms in there.
There are worms.
What else?
There's worms. I just saw like the biggest roly-poly of my life the other day. I was like, oh my gosh. Like,
So it is living.
yeah, it's a whole bunch. And then like I do a lot of compost teas and a lot of compost is like I love compost. Like if you ever want to fix anything wrong with a garden, just add compost.
Okay.
I promise. A good source.
So you're a woman grower. Can you, I mean, this is Women's Month. This is why we're here. So elaborate on how the cannabis industry treats you as a woman grower. And I mean, tell me, I want to know some positive and some negative. Because, I mean, let's be real. This is a new industry, new in Oklahoma. We've not been here too long. We have a lot of players that, you know, they've been in other states, and so they're knowledgeable. Or, I mean, tell me, because, I mean, women coming in it's different than a man coming in. Let's be real.
Yeah. Let's see. I've been growing for like over 12 years, like commercially, large scale, organically. Greenhouse is just what I've done for a long time. And I came out to Oklahoma about 3 years ago, and I never really thought about how I'm a woman in the industry, because it was never a thing. It was never a big deal that I was a grower. And then now coming to Oklahoma, I feel like in the legal industry, because I was also like, you know, I was on the 215 market days in California where you didn't post things on your Instagram about your plants. Like, you just didn't talk about it on the internet like you do now.
Right.
So now that I'm in Oklahoma and I'm like out in the open, like I grow weed, which is like still weird for me to say. Now it's, I grow weed and I'm a woman, and it just, you get a lot in your face, like, oh yeah, this is like a male, very male-dominated industry in every aspect. There are not very many women CEOs. There's, what, 8% CEOs in the cannabis industry?
There's actually...
Or 21?
Pre-COVID, it was 37% that we had the women in upper parts of the industry, but that was throughout the whole state. And this was a study that was done in 2017.
Okay.
Actually, after COVID, I literally did all this research today. So I'm not a know-it-all. I'm really not. So I literally knew I was coming today, and I just looked stuff up.
Yeah, I love it.
So with that being said, after COVID, we have dropped to 21%. And I'm just going to tell you, my heart is a little sad because of that. There's lots of skepticism as to why, but so that's why I'm kind of asking. And so I do have one more question to add to that.
Yeah.
Is what you're feeling and seeing, is that because of Oklahoma, or is it, did you feel this way in other places, or just because of the socialization has made it different? So
yes, exactly. I think it's the public space.
Okay.
Not like the place.
Okay.
I'm not saying Oklahoma's like that.
And I was just curious.
Yeah, it's definitely like being out in the open, and like how the cannabis industry is, like the big players are these dudes that are in their indoors, which I'm not anti-indoor either, guys. I just happen to grow outdoor. And that's what you see. That's the people who have a lot of money that are flashing, you know, and you don't really see that on the women's end.
Understood.
I think it's, but then also like going to like cannabis events and stuff, you know, sometimes you'll meet a dude and I have to like swing it back at him. but it's kind of fun.
Hold your own. Hold your own. So in Oklahoma, one of the stigmas is sun-grown. Like literally we have, I, as a dispensary owner, I haven't had a lot of good sun-grown flower that's come through that has not had mold. I mean,
totally.
Truth be told, that I can't tell you how much I've rejected. That I want to make sure that it's right for my patient. So tell me,
100%.
Tell me what makes yours different? How are you able to counteract those things? Because I know it's hard. Tell me those, because I don't know. I'm not a grower.
So with experience, like, comes, knowledge. And Oklahoma was a very fresh state, and all these people thought, I'll just grow weed outside in Oklahoma. And Oklahoma has one of the harshest environments I've ever grown cannabis in. I've grown cannabis in California, I've grown it in Maine, and I've grown it in Oklahoma. And Oklahoma is by far level 10, because you're constantly battling something. And if you don't have the knowledge or the know-how to just roll with the punches and keep this plant as healthy as possible, then you're going to fail, and you're going to be sad about that. And I think a lot of people went really big. They thought they could plant 60 greenhouses, but that takes a lot of work. That's an insane amount of work. You don't need that much to, like, make a profitable business. So people went too big, they grew too much, and there was no quality. So I'm trying to show people, and I will help anybody, like, if anyone has any questions, like, what is this bug, or like, what is this, like, holler at me. And
So I have one about sun-grown, because sun-grown is just completely different, smokable, if you will, medical, than indoor. And I would like you to elaborate a little bit on that, like the differences between indoor and outdoor, because in Oklahoma, I don't know that we really understand the difference, because we're so much into the indoor because it's so hard to grow outdoors.
Yeah, I'd say like 90% is indoor here. That's on the market. The big, like, I wouldn't say entirely different. I'd say organic versus synthetic is a big one. For differences. And then once you get, so say you're both growing organic, and then the difference between indoor and outdoor would be maybe your outdoor, sometimes it's bigger, it depends on the season. So the summer's crops will be huge nuggets, and then the winter it's cooler, so you'll have smaller. But in, like, indoor, you kind of get a consistency. But that's what kind of I love about outdoors, like, you're working with the seasons, which I'm, like, very into that. And then synthetic versus organic, I full-heartedly think everyone should be smoking organic, because the synthetic products that are on the shelves, like at your grocery stores, that maybe people don't know about, that's like what's going into your lungs.
Can you, I want you to elaborate a little bit. What do you mean by synthetic? I mean, I understand I understand what you mean, but I don't know that the average person that doesn't grow, isn't an owner, isn't in the industry, doesn't follow, but they're learning about the plant.
Totally. Yeah, so the synthetics are like chemically made nutrients. So that's one thing, but then also pesticides and fungicides, which are sprayed on the plant. And there are some pesticides and fungicides that live in the plant and will go with the plant, but that's how indoors can get away with, and outdoors can get away with spraying that, and then they get through testing. It's just one of those things about educating more people on what you should choose, and always ask the grower. And if the representative doesn't know exactly what people are using, you should be like, well, I need to know this, because it's just one of those things. Because if this is a medicine, it's going into your lungs. Like, smoking's a big deal, and cannabis is a bioaccumulator of heavy metals.
Yes.
So it sucks up things, and it stores it. It doesn't get rid of it. And then that's what you're smoking. And I'm not trying to, like, don't panic about cannabis. But if you're into that and that's what you worry about, then definitely check it out. And also plant hormones. Like, people pump cannabis with hormones, and that's how you get those, like, crazy big nuggets, and that is from hormones.
So these are, this is information, this is good information, especially for the patients, because, I mean, there are things that we know. I didn't know it 3 years ago, 4 years ago, like, but, I mean, things that I know now, I look at it completely different. So education is so super important.
Yeah. There's a million ways to do it. And you get to choose what you like.
That's so true. That's so true. So tell me, what's the most difficult element for Oklahoma? I mean, obviously there's a lot, but what's the most difficult one?
For me personally, I think it's the heat in summer, just because I have to be outside. But in the plants, I like put shade cloth over everything, so they're like under shade all the time. And there's me like dragging hoses in like 100-degree sun.
You
sweat a lot, you know.
I can imagine.
But yeah, that, and then I guess it's the extreme weather. Like it's extremely hot and it's extremely cold. It could be 70 one day, and then the next day is like 30 degrees or something.
Do you have them, when they're sun grown, do you cover them at any time?
I have, my main crops are in greenhouses. So my winter stuff's like goes in greenhouses, but I do full term outside or light deprivation outside too. And that's always an adventure, because sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, we need to move plants that are like huge and they're in flower, and it, like this winter, this happened when, I think in November, when it went from like 60 degrees to like the next day it was 28. And we're like, we have to move all these plants inside because they have 2 weeks left.
Yes.
So we were like jamming our greenhouse full of them.
Welcome to Oklahoma.
Yeah. Or we've also built greenhouses in like 2 days.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Me and my partner are nuts.
So you brought us some things here today. Tell me, what did you bring?
Okay. I brought some lemon lava cake, which is this one, which is a sativa. And this was all grown in the dead of winter. So 10 hours of sunlight, which is not ideal. But it still grows beautiful flower. I actually like the winter the most.
Okay.
I think. Just because it's so frosty. So that's lemon lava cake, which is sativa, which they don't like the cold as much. And then we have Private Reserve OG, which is just like your OG Kush. Like if you love OG, that's a great one.
That's the one.
You know, just huff it down. And then we have Fatso, which is, I think, the prettiest. And it's an indica. I kind of do a lot of classics.
Okay, so tell me, what is your all-time favorite that you grow?
Oh my gosh. It's the Fatso right now.
Okay.
Because the Fatso does so good in summer and winter, and like you throw anything at it. But with the Oklahoma market, you have to new strains like every 3 months. So you get good at growing a strain out here, or you find a strain that does well in Oklahoma weather, and then they're like, "Can we have something new?"
Got you. So do you have one that they always want? One that you've kept?
Fatso.
Okay.
Fatso and Moose Tracks. We have this one called Moose Tracks that I haven't seen in very many places. I got it from a friend.
I definitely have never heard of Moose Tracks.
It's just Girl Scout cookie and OG crossed, but it's 2 classics that are like delicious. And
okay.
Whatever cut I have is amazing, and I love it.
What's your favorite day use?
Ooh, the lemon lava cake.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It's good. And like the plant itself, like I walk by these plants every day. So like, since it's like a little baby, you can smell the stem, and it smells like lemon lava cake the whole way through growth and into flower. More than like most plants.
Lemon lava cake.
Yeah.
That's going to have some terpenes in it that's actually going to be so beneficial for many people.
Yeah.
Where does that fall? Does it fall 50-50? Is it leaning towards one or the other?
I think it's very dominant in limonene.
Okay.
And then I really suck at pronouncing all the.
That's okay.
The myrcene. Duh.
I got you, girl.
I know.
Myrcene.
I look at the terpenes all the time, and then like I read them in my own voice in my head, and then when I say them, I'm like, that is not how things sound.
Oh, are you kidding? I can tell you that I don't know how many I've mispronounced and how many I've had to relearn. So yeah, but as long as we know what they do, that's the most important part.
Yeah,
and we can explain that.
I love the limonene and the linalool. I have this one that's like dominant in linalool and fusarium. Fusarium is a fungus, sorry.
Is it Farnese?
Farnese. like confused because also all these like fungus and bacteria have insane like Latin names. So I get everything. I'm like, okay, so these bacteria I have to memorize, and these fungi, and it all gets scrambled in my head.
So when I asked you earlier, what message would you like to get out? And you talked about breaking the stigma. I would like you to elaborate on that.
I think the stigma, as a selfish way, I want people to think about outdoor as not being awful. Like try to reach out to outdoor farms, and it would be cool to get them, out there, because there's a lot of great outdoor farms in Oklahoma, but there's not. Okay, I say there's a lot, but there's really not that many. I can like count 10. But as like a stigma in the cannabis industry, I'd love to break. I'd really like prisoner reformation thought about, and
Yes, 100.
like just like decriminalizing it 100% and like letting it free the plant. Like it's a plant. Like it's so ridiculous to me that there's so much regulation to it.
Yeah, very true. So with regulation, you want to talk about any of that? Like there's a lot of that going on right now.
Yeah, the legislation that is coming out is definitely putting the pressure on smaller farms, I'd say. So all this legislation, they're trying to, make pre-packaging deals, and so that means you'll never be able to smell flower before you ever buy it. If that's important to you as a patient, you should call your representatives. Like, I need to smell this, because the nose knows, right?
Yes. Yes, I believe that.
I believe it too. If they take that away, that's just gonna up the costs and up the trash in the industry. And then there's other ones that, they're trying to do THC limits, which is also, okay, you don't want to see the whole spectrum of the plant then. So if there's THC limits, that means people are going to have to start diluting your product. So
I think kind of the craziest one for me was the limits on the concentrates. Have you heard about that?
yeah, on like rosins and.
Mm-hmm. So with that being said, if we have limits on, if we do the limits that they want to cap out, yeah, you guys need to really call your congressman, your representatives, make your voice known, be heard. Because if you're a concentrate person and your tolerances are high, and this is like your medication for pain or you know, whatever you're medicating for, the most important thing is that you won't have concentrates. Like, that will go away.
They'll be diluted.
Well, I mean, how are we going to do that? I mean, that's no
Fillers,
longer.
you'd have to get. I don't know.
Yeah, how's that going to pass testing? I mean, our concentrates are above 60, and we can't cap those at 60. That's not going to work.
No.
Not going to work, especially for pain.
100, yeah. And pain is like, I feel like one of the most important jobs that cannabis has is pain relief. You know, as she was talking about, you know, people coming off opiates, like, people depend on this. And
do you medicate?
I
didn't
do.
ask that ahead of time.
I'm a nighttime smoker.
Okay.
During the day, I'm like, if I like smoke, I'll like get distracted or like want to like doodle or something.
So
or like play music. And
so I actually read statistically that 75% of people do not medicate during the day for those reasons, because they're afraid or for whatever reason that they choose not to medicate during the day. They work, they don't want to. I thought that was interesting, but I'm here to tell you that you could actually medicate in the day and not be high.
You guys were just talking about juicing leaves too.
And because it's so medicinal. If you juice the leaves, it really is more like vitamins. So it's preventative medicine instead of reactive medicine. So it's super beneficial.
Yep, I full-heartedly all about juicing the leaves. Do it.
It's funny. So there is a possibility because the leaves are not activated.
Nope, THCA.
So they are THCA. However, if you're non-cannabis use, then THCA could actually have you some psychedelics, could have some effects. So if you don't understand or know, please go to your dispensary and ask those questions before you just start doing things, because I'm not going to say just to do that.
Yeah, always ask a professional.
Yeah, but or find the information out. I mean, the information is there. It's just knowing what to ask.
Yes, there's so much great information. All right.
So, if you have one thing that you want to make sure gets known today, what would that be?
Ooh, ask questions
Well, that's a good
about about the cannabis you're consuming, if you care.
Yeah.
It's okay if you don't.
So,
And support local small farms,
definitely support.
because we really do care about y'all.
That's important. That's important. Grown with love.
So much love. Yeah.
Grown with love, definitely. I appreciate everyone coming out today. I actually have some more women history stuff. Can I touch on that?
Yeah.
I mean, this is History Month. We're going to go out and, let's talk about women empowerment. Let's talk about, we've come a long ways, and the women haven't gotten the recognition that they so deserved. So thanks, Perry, for letting me be here today. History rewritten. I kind of call this the history rewritten. This is some facts about women in history that probably aren't really taught, but they're kind of cool facts. So one of them is that I call this the first. Women did these things first, and you wouldn't think that it was a woman that did it, but it was. So Niagara Falls. Would you believe it that it was a woman who went off of Niagara Falls first?
Maybe I could believe that.
Yeah, she survived. She was 43 years old.
Badass.
School teacher. Survived. She had a big gash on her forehead, but that's about it. There's a lady named Sybil Ludington.
Ooh.
Do you know who that is? Have you heard that name?
Yes.
So do you know that she actually rode twice as far as Paul Revere? She did twice the work, but yet she's not in our history books. Isn't that a little sad? I thought that was interesting.
Of course she did.
Guess Mount Everest, first climbed, was a woman.
That endurance.
Helen Keller, everyone knows who that is. She was actually the first lady that deaf, mute, individual period that wrote a book. I thought that was pretty cool. The first novel in the entire world was written by a woman. It really was, and it was written in C1000 CE.
Wow.
Is that not crazy? The first doctor recorded on record was a woman, and that was in 2700 BC. She was Egyptian. It was an Egyptian lady.
Very cool.
There has only been one person to receive 2 Nobel Peace Prizes in 2 different categories, and yes, it was a woman. And then the last one I thought was really freaking cool. It was a 17-year-old little girl. And everybody's heard these names, Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. Would you believe that she actually struck both of them out? 17 years old. Why do we not know who she is? We should have her on. We should be talking to this girl.
Dang. Yeah, we should.
So that's it. That's the end to Women's History Month. Like, there's so many more facts out there that so many women did. I am super excited to be here today, and I appreciate Perry allowing me to do this. Got to meet 2 cool women in the industry, and looking forward to meeting more. Oh, music, Fox. Petty Fox, take a sound. So, I actually am so freaking excited. I am getting ready to smoke. What am I smoking?
Lemon lava cake.
Y'all don't be jealous.
Winter grown.
This has a lot of limonene. And anyone who knows me and I talk about my terpene profile, this actually speaks to my soul. I want you to tell me a little bit about it while I light this up.
Oh, yeah. So the lemon lava cake is a sativa dominant hybrid, and I love this plant. It's the most I walk past this plant, and every time I just have to smell it. And then I swear it tastes just like it smells. Right?
Yes. Actually, I felt an instant feel good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did. Thank you for bringing that. I'm super excited.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So this combination of this plant actually right here, what it really does for me is it gives me a calming, because it has a little bit of, I have anxiety, like I run, I don't stop until I hit the wall. And so this will actually calm me down, slow me down, but it also uplift me so I can actually get things done and not just be faded into the couch.
Oh, yeah, this will not fade you.
So, loving it.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Was the water good?
We're fine.
We're fine.
So, thank you for bringing that.
Yeah, of course. That's my daytime. That's the only thing I will smoke in the daytime.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm out. I have a Hella Jelly, this stuff called Hella Jelly, which is very similar but super fruity, and I can smoke that during the day.
I'm going to need some of this Hella Jelly.
Yeah. Also, I love the name.
I was going to say, just because of the name, I kind of know what this is about.
I know. I swear, names do the selling for you. If it's named right. Oh. I was saying names will do the selling for you if it's named right. I'll always pick, if I'm shopping for genetics, I'll be if it's some silly name that I love, I'm oh, I'm definitely going to try to grow that because I love the name.
That's true. That's very, very true.
But anyways, I think we're done here. So thanks for having me. It was a great time.
I am super excited to meet you. I literally want you to come into my store so that we can talk some more.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I'll be there.
All right.